What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, and aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stage of your life. Family, man, we have to grow up emotionally. We want to continue our series on the tarot cards, on the major arcana cards. Yesterday, we talked about the Fool, and the Fool being us, each and every one of us, as we begin our journey into growth and development, as we begin our journey into self-discovery, as we begin our journey into healing and understanding who we are and why we're here. We talked yesterday briefly about how you are that fool. You know, every single one of us, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of your age, regardless of your sex, regardless of your sexual orientation, you are that fool. Every single one of us. Today we're going to pick that up and we're going to continue on with the magician. And the trip is, so many of us, we grew up and we have this belief that we're nobody. So many of us, we grew up and we have this belief that we're powerless. And you look at what's going on in the world, you look at what's going on in the news and everything around you, it shows you how powerless you are. You're powerless to change what's going on in the government. You're powerless to change the financial status of the country. You're powerless to change the social climate of America and just the world in general. You know what I mean? There's wars going on and there's threat of wars and famine and inflation, and it makes you feel like you're powerless. And so many of us who've gone through traumatic things in life, who grew up in toxic families, we had this belief that we're powerless to change something. We're powerless to change our life. We're powerless to change what's going on around us. This is going to get deep. And again, it is what it is. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow spiritually. And today we're going to talk about the magician. Again, the magician. The magician is, if you look at this card, man, he has one hand up and one hand down. The magician, man, he has the wand, he has the cup, he has the pinnacle, he has the swords. And each and every one of those represents the four elements. Stay with me. We're going somewhere today. And again, when you look at the Fool, the card of the Fool from yesterday, let me see if I can find that real quick. I just had it out. When you look at the Fool has a backpack on. Not a backpack, but he has a bag. And what the Fool doesn't understand and realize is that he has the power of all four elements. He has everything he needs in his bag. This is going to get hectic. It's going to get deep. What we don't understand is that everything we need, we already have. Everything you need to be all that you're capable of being, everything you need to be the best version of yourself, you already possess. We're so busy chasing money, chasing relationships, and chasing all this other stuff because we think this is going to give us what we need in order to be successful, in order to give us the ability to be all that we're capable of being, when the truth is you already have that. You've always had it. You just didn't know how to use it. This is going to get deep. See, what we fail to understand is because we're so busy trying to run from our past. We're so busy trying to push past our pain and our trauma. We're so busy trying to push past and minimize and dismiss the suffering and the things that have gone on in our lives. What we fail to understand is that God, Universe, Source, has given those things to you. He's allowed you to experience those things. Why? So that you can understand who the fuck you are. So you can grow the fuck up emotionally and spiritually and understand you already have everything. And the great thing about the magician is looked at as the alchemist. The magician has learned how to take whatever energy, take whatever circumstances that they're facing and transmute that energy, alchemize that negative energy into something beautiful, something powerful. We're going there today. Again, the magician, what they learn to do is manifest whatever it is that they need in life, whatever it is that they want in life. The magician has learned how to utilize the elements, the talents, the gifts that he possesses into being all that he's capable of being. But you can't keep running from your past. You can't keep ignoring the things that's caused you suffering and pain. Because those things give you the passion and the drive. Those things give you the knowledge and the wisdom to go and be all that you're capable of being. You got to understand that. The magician, man, he has one hand pointing towards heaven and the other hand pointing to earth. Why? To show us that, man, we've got to be spiritual and physical. We're connected. The spiritual realm is connected to the physical realm. You can't have one without the other and be balanced. You can't have one without the other and walk in your full purpose. You can't have one without the other and walk in the power and authority that you have. We've got to grow the fuck up. And so what the magician does is the magician has the ability, the alchemist has the ability to change his circumstances. The magician has the ability to be able to alchemize and manifest what they want in life. The problem is because we don't understand who the fuck we are, because we've never learned the fucking lessons, because we don't understand the power that we have, because we don't understand the tools and the talents and gifts that God has already given us, man, what we manifest is more pain and trauma. What we manifest is more suffering. What we manifest is more lack. We're not manifesting the things we want. We're manifesting what we know. And that's more mediocre living. That's more chaos. That's more trauma. That's what we manifest in our life. What you think about, you bring about. Say it again. What you think about, you bring about. We're so fixated on, I ain't got enough money. I need more money. I need more money. I need this. Universe, God, source is not listening to what you're saying. They're listening to the vibration you're on. And if your vibrations, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, because I need, that says lack. And what God, universe says is, okay, you know what? What you think about, you're going to bring about. That's what you're manifesting. This is what you're dwelling on. This is what you're focused on. I'm going to give you more of that right there. I'm going to give you more reasons to feel powerless. I'm going to give you more reasons to feel helpless. I'm going to give you more reasons to live in fear. I'm going to give you more reasons to live with this lack mentality. The magician is not grinding. The magician is not on his grind. The magician don't give a fuck what's going on around him. Because the magician says, man, I could use all of that. All of your hatred, all of your jealousy, all of you trying to sabotage. I'm going to use all of that motherfucking energy and convert it into fuel to create and manifest what I want in life. We create our own reality. The problem is we don't understand this. And so we blame everybody else. We blame the Democrats. We blame the Republicans. We blame the gays. We blame the conservatives. We blame all these different ethnic groups. We blame all these different religious groups as to why the country is the way it is, as to why our world is the way it is. We blame the president as to why the country is the way that it is. And what we do when we blame other people is we give them our motherfucking power. We forfeit our power. We get so fixated on them against us. The powers to be. We get so fixated on the Illuminati. We get so fixated on the 1%ers, the 5%ers. We get so fixated on all these other fucking groups that we've given our fucking power to. And we sit back and we blame them for why the world is the way that it is. Instead of saying, okay, wait a minute. I got the motherfucking power. I got the motherfucking juice. I got the motherfucking connections. I don't give two fucks what's going on in the world. Why? Because everything is always working out for me. I don't give two fucks what everybody else is talking about, what everybody else is doing. If my life is frustrating, if my life is miserable, if my life is in financial crisis and ruin and devastation, if I'm depressed, if I'm suicidal, I can't blame nobody else. That's all motherfucking me. That's all you. You create the world you live in. You create your fucking reality. But we don't want to grow up and accept responsibility and accountability for our belief system. We don't want to grow the fuck up and accept responsibility and accountability for our fucking actions. And so we sit back and say, I'm giving it all to God. God's going to do this. I'm giving it all to Jesus. Jesus is going to do it. Jesus is not going to change your motherfucking life. God is not going to change your fucking life. You've got to grow the fuck up emotionally, spiritually, and accept responsibility and accountability for your own fucking twisted ass life. As I began growing up, as God began dealing with me, because I was in church, I was an ordained minister. I believe in crying out and having faith. I believe in, I'm just going to lay it at the cross. I believe in just giving it all to Jesus, giving it all to God. And my life never changed. My life didn't start changing until I started taking responsibility and accountability for my own fucking life. And not just my life, but the way I saw my life. How I believed and perceived my twisted ass life. This is what magicians do. This is what alchemists do. This is what people who put in the motherfucking work emotionally, spiritually, this is the power and authority that they have. The trick, we talk about Jesus, but we never really understand Jesus. Jesus never walked around fixated on the world fucking problems. Jesus never walked around being consumed with the sick and the poor and the down and out. Jesus never walked around being consumed with the rapists and the murderers. They had them back there too. They had the fucking crooks. But that's not what Jesus was fixated on. At some point, we've got to grow the fuck up. We got to grow up. Your life isn't going to change until you understand who the fuck you are. Your life isn't going to change for the better until you understand the gifts and the power that you have. It is what it is. You could pray all day. You can meditate all day. Your life is not going to change. You can have all the tarot cards. You can have all the oracle cards. You can have all the charms. You can have all the sage. You can have all the crystals. You can have whatever the fuck it is you want. You can burn candles. You can do all that shit you want to. Your life is not gonna fucking change until you grow the fuck up emotionally, spiritually. And understand who you really are. And change your perspective of life. Change how you use the gifts that God is giving you. You have the ability to manifest what you need and what you want in life. You do. And I know the whole world has told you that who are you? You know, you can't change anything. You're just one person. You're nobody. And you're da-da-da-da. And all this other stupid ass toxic shit. But the miserable, raggedy ass, fucked up life you're living right now, you manifested this shit. The depressed, suicidal life you have right now, you manifested this shit. The lack of finances you have in your life, you manifested this shit. You did. This is your fucking reality. And your reality is your fucking responsibility. So if you don't like the way you live, if you don't like your life, you've got to grow the fuck up and transition from being a fucking fool to the magician, where you're able to take the talents and the gifts and the power that you have and use it for your benefit or for the greater good of humanity. That's your option. That nobody's going to make you do that. God is not going to make you do that. Jesus, Allah, nobody's going to make you do that. Buddha's not going to make you do that. You have free motherfucking will. You can live however the fuck you want to. You could be as happy as you want to be. You can have all the fucking peace and joy you want. You can also have all the fucking misery you want. You can have all the love you want. You can have the lack of love you want. The choice is yours. It's always been yours. I don't give a damn who don't agree with you. I don't give a damn who's talking down on you. I don't give a damn who's coming against you, who's trying to attack you. None of that shit fucking matters. That's all a fucking distraction to keep you stuck as a fucking fool, to keep you stuck in that lack mentality, to keep you stuck feeling fucking powerless, to keep you stuck feeling hopeless, to keep you stuck feeling like, I'm just going to live this way and then I'll get to heaven and I'll have all the joy and peace I want. I'm just going to live in misery and depression and financial devastation and ruin and poverty and all this other bullshit, and then I'll go to heaven and I'll have everything. I'll have the riches and the mansion and all this other stupid ass shit. You can believe what you want to believe, but your life is not going to change. Your reality is not going to change until you grow the fuck up emotionally, spiritually. It's not a coincidence that the magician is the first card that the fool comes to. It's not a coincidence that the magician is the first being that the fool runs into. And it's not even that the fool runs into the magician. The fool recognizes and understands after growing the fuck up emotionally and spiritually that I am the motherfucking magician. That's me. That's you. But we go run into the fucking pastor. We go run into the bishop. We go run into the mother of the church and all these other motherfuckers because we've made them the fucking magician. We've given them all the fucking power. And so we need their blessings. We need them to sanction us. We need them to lay hands on us. We need them to anoint us and all this other stupid ass shit. Because we don't know who the fuck we are. You've given your power to your mammy. You've given your power to your daddy. You've given the power to the nappy head dude you running behind. You've given the power to that ratchet ass fucking female you running behind. And you think if I could just get them, my life would be so much better. If I could just get this, my life would be so much better. If I could just do this, my life would be so much better. No, if you just grow the fuck up and change your fucking perspective about who the fuck you are, your life would be a whole lot better. You can have the quote-unquote man you want and you still be in fucking misery. You can have the quote-unquote queen you want and still be frustrated and depressed and suicidal. You've got to grow the fuck up. You got to grow up. You got to learn how to take back your fucking power. You got to learn how to take back your fucking authority. And not give a damn who likes it. Not give a damn who agree with you. Why are you doing all of that and they don't take it? How the fuck would you know what it takes for me to have fucking peace and joy and happiness and to be successful and reach my full potential? And you ain't never done that. You ain't never walked in that fucking power and authority. You ain't got no fucking peace and joy. But you're trying to tell me how to have fucking peace and joy. You ain't never really overcame shit. You ain't never grew through shit. How the fuck you gonna try to tell me how to overcome? How to heal? How to grow through the bullshit I've gone through? And you ain't grew through the fucking bullshit you've gone through. You ain't healed the shit you're fucking dealing with. You're just fucking distracted and quoting fucking scriptures. You're just fucking distracted and thinking Donald Trump's your fucking savior. And I'm not knocking Donald Trump. But nobody is going to come save you from your miserable fucking life. Nobody. Again, that's part of that fucking programming. That's part of that dumbing down that we just willingly accepted. Waiting for a fucking rescuer, waiting for somebody to come save us. Because we don't know who the fuck we are. Because again, we've never walked in that power and authority as the magician. It is what it is. Hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to even challenge your way of thinking. You've got to grow the fuck up, family. Enough is enough. We've been through the pain and the trauma. We've carried that shit enough. Now it's time to transmute, to change, convert that negative, toxic energy into something powerful, into something that's productive, into something that's beneficial to humanity. And as you grow, you understand, man, this is my fucking testimony. This is what my testimony is all about. This is what my life example is all about. Me being able to sit here as the magician, as the alchemist, and tell you what I've gone through, and tell you what I've been through, and all the pain and trauma that I overcame, and how I'm able to stand before you as a man or a woman with all this peace and joy, with all this power, with all this fucking authority. Because we put in the motherfucking work. And if we can do it, you can do it too. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.